welcome back to SportsLine here on News Channel 5 Plus. Happy to have you on board with us. In just a second, we're going to hear from Titans head coach Mike Vrabel, who spoke to the media earlier this morning at St. Thomas Sports Park. Titans getting back to work, getting ready for Sunday's game as they host the New Orleans Saints, 12 noon over at Nissan Stadium. But first, let's go back to the phones real quick. Anthony joins us. Hello, Anthony.
Hey, John. Thank you for taking the call. About three different players on that team I'm concerned about. One is that Jackrabbit Jenkins. He's getting burnt. I don't care if he changed his name or what. They is burning him. He's supposed to be a professional football player, and he's causing a war injury on the defense, but doing stupid plays, holding or whatever. If they'd kept Michael Butler, it'd have been better. But this guy, he just slow, and time the offensive receiver get past him, it's too late, and he getting burned. Now, if you notice, they trying to play some of that old Pittsburgh Steelers defense, where they use Palomalo in the middle. That's what they use with Biner. But it's not working. And the next player is, I'm thinking about Julio Jones. Mm-hmm. Now, you don't go out this man here paying him all kind of money, and if he's injured, put him on injury reserve, because I know you paid him all this money, but he's not helping the Titans at all. He's just a threat when he's in there, but he's rarely in there.
Who's your third player?
Henry. Now, Henry, instead of them getting this $50 million, now, running back careers are shortened, but taking all these hits and all that. But he should have asked for more money. They let Taylor Lewan get more money than him, and he ain't missed a game. Now, something is wrong with Henry. Well, I know you want to play with the Titans.
Well, Henry's going to be out for a significant amount of time, if not the rest of the season. So,
right.
But up to this point, you're right. He had been pretty durable. So your point is that Derrick Henry should be getting paid more than Taylor Lewan?
Yeah, he should have got more money because he's thinking he's durability. He's thinking more.
Anthony, let me just jump in and say this. I know, it's a point of a lot of fans, especially in this part of the country. These athletes that make a lot of money, especially in the NFL, because this is a college football area. I understand that. But I've always said, Anthony, that you're worth whatever someone is willing to pay you. And there's a going rate for quality left tackles in the National Football League. It's the second most important position on any football team, assuming you have a right-handed quarterback. Your quarterback's one, left tackle's number two, because he protects the quarterback's blind side. I'm sure I'm not telling you anything you don't know. But normally, running backs, you're right, it's a shorter shelf life. And they don't get paid the kind of money that they used to because of the shorter shelf life. And so Derrick Henry, and I'll just take your Derrick Henry point for 1 second. Derrick Henry, I think, realized, hey, I'm in a great situation. I play for a great organization in a great city. I have a really good offensive line that I can run behind. Yeah, I could probably get a little bit more money elsewhere. But remember, at the time that he signed his new contract, there was a pandemic. There was no guarantee that anything would be happening. So I don't know if you really want to get into the fact that, well, this guy should get paid more than that guy. Does that make sense?
Yes, it do. And I don't want you to forget about them New York Giants, my team.
That's my team. That's our team. Yeah. I recognize you. Well, all right, let's talk further about this. Jackrabbit Jenkins, you're right. He has struggled this year. He's not as good at one-on-one coverage. He's 32 years old. He's lost a step, clearly. He's known for being physical. He hasn't been that physical, and he has gotten burned a few times. But here's the good news, Anthony. You're getting Christian Fulton back possibly this week. That's going to help that secondary tremendously, okay? And as far as Julio Jones goes, I don't want to be the guy to say, I told you so, but this guy he's north of 30. And when you have soft tissue injuries for an explosive athlete who's getting on in years a little bit, you're going to have these type of issues. And I know for you it comes back to money, but the problem is, Julio Jones has been really good when he's been healthy, But the fact is he hasn't been staying on the field. I agree with you. And listen, the Titans made this trade for Julio Jones because he felt this guy, well, a couple of reasons. Number one, they realized Josh Reynolds was not going to be a quality number 2 receiver. He's gone. And number two, they felt this was the guy that's the missing piece to us going to the Super Bowl. You had to take that. You had to take that chance. You had to take that gamble. Teams that win the Super Bowl or even get to the Super Bowl, their front offices have to be bold, and you have to be able to, put your cards on the table and say, hey, we're going for it. Will it work out with Julio Jones? Well, there's still 8 games to go, but, when you get on in years, you start getting these soft tissue injuries, right? They tend to linger. So we'll wait and see on Julio Jones. But your points on Jackrabbit Jenkins and Julio Jones are well said and spot on, I think. But as far as Derrick Henry should make more money than Taylor Lewan. Look, nobody predicted Taylor Lewan was going to blow his knee out last year. Nobody predicted it was going to take this long for him to get back 100%. Fair?
You're right. Thank you so much. You're right. You explained it well. Thank you so much, Jon.
All right. Thanks for the call. We appreciate it. All right. There goes Anthony. All right. Let's hear from head coach Mike Vrabel as the Titans get ready to host the New Orleans Saints Sunday at Nissan Stadium. He spoke to the media earlier this morning.
Great.
What's the challenge in preparing for the Saints when you're not maybe sure exactly which quarterback? Do you prepare for both Simeon and Taysom Hill? And does knowing Trevor at all from last year help?
Well, I think we have familiarity with Trevor, obviously. He did a great job when he was here for us in the role that he had. I think it always is a challenge every week to prepare for the next opponent. It's certainly one that we don't have a ton of familiarity with. We'll have to be prepared for Taysom Hill, for Trevor. Obviously they really got into a rhythm. They put Taysom in there the other day, hit some chunk plays, and then went back to Trevor and really got moving there in the second half.
Mike, that Saints defense, what challenges do they present for you guys?
Well, I think they just have really good, players. I think they're sound. I think, the scheme is obviously good, but they're long on the edges. Davenport, Jordan, stout and explosive inside. I think their backers are active. I think I've always had a ton of respect for Demario Davis, and what he's able to do, and all, really in the run game, his ability to cover. And also, he's a really good blitzer. Does a nice job with them. Quan, and then obviously, Werner rotating in there, getting some secondary guys. With Roby, obviously Lattimore, Jenkins, Williams. They have really good players in all 3 levels of their defense, and the rush, helps the coverage. The coverage. They play different coverages. They play multiple coverages, and then obviously that'll help out the rush.
With the way my brain, I'm asking this question for Terry, so I had to shift gears. Sorry. Do you need to make sure you stay out of obvious passing downs against this defense? They've been so good against the run.
Yep. You're doing a great job for Terry. Just like he would say it. You nailed the impersonation. That would be the goal all the time. No matter who we were playing, just to stay balanced and stay ahead of the chains and being good on first down. Those are tough situations, playing the game in second and long and then third and long. You just, some of these guys in this league, it's hard to protect them. And you just run out of plays and time to get them off. So the more that we can stay, efficient, whether we throw it or whether we run it, but that would be a huge key every week, is just being efficient on early downs.
We talked about resiliency throughout your time. It seems like you guys are maybe at your peak of that now. Just how valuable is that to have as a hallmark quality?
I think just having, in life, life is, things always come up. Everybody deals with things, and what is a struggle to one person is, maybe not so much for the next person, but everybody's dealing with something. And I think that that's a good lesson in life, carries over to the football field, that things aren't always going to be great. They're going to be mistakes. You're going to have some adversity along the way. And hopefully that with a team and a group and what we believe in and what we preach and what we practice, you can carry that through, that there's not a panic level. We had basically 4 double-digit drives against the Rams defensively that ended in 9 points. I think that that's a good example of that, of not panicking. And don't want to sit here and recap the Rams game, but I think going forward, it's like, okay, we can settle down, not panic, play well in the red zone, get a turnover, get a 4th down stop, whatever it may be. So, we've had lots of situations here, and they keep fighting and battling and finding a way.
With your group, it seems like, both sides of the ball, they understand that we may not have a good game, so we have to pick up. Where does that, where is that rooted? Because it seems like it's kind of.
Well, I mean, I think I felt, they feed off each other. I think that they're close. I mean, you practice against each other from the time that we come to training camp, and so they're around each other a lot. Some guys are going to be closer than others, but I don't ever hear any complaining as far as, they got to do this, they have to do that. Kind of just figure out what needs to be done in all 3 phases and go out and try to do it.
Good to get the process going with Christian return of practice. And how happy have you been with the guys who've you've rotated a lot of different guys in there, how they've done as a group?
Yeah, we'll see what Christian looks like this week. This is a good thing to be able to get out on the practice field, do some stuff, get with coaches, get around his teammates, do individual drills and, evaluate him as the week goes along. And then guys have stepped up and improved and, done a nice job for us. So and everybody that we can get back would be great.
What kind of progress have you seen from Dez Fitzpatrick on the practice squad?
Yeah, there's some momentum there. Last I guess it wasn't the Rams week, it would have been the Colts week. He was show team player of the week on offense and on special teams, and so that's a 2-for-1 special, and those are hard to come by. And I think that that's something that we have to continue to take advantage of and try to find roles for him and have him keep working like everybody else that's either on our roster or on our practice squad, and that's our challenge.
Do you feel like there's a need? I mean, you released Reynolds. Is there a need to replace a wide receiver, or are you more likely, you think, to fill that position with maybe a different spot?
Well, I mean, I think when you practice late in the year, you're always going to need legs. You need linemen. Guys are banged up, so I would imagine that we'll have the legs that we need, and we'll see where we're at on the roster.
How hard is it to find a quarterback at this time of the year, and what do you know about Kevin Hogan?
Well, he's played in a lot of systems. I think that he'll be able to grasp what we're doing fairly quickly, in case that his services were needed. And, it's probably hard late in the year to try to find guys. He's played in this league and been in there meeting with Pat, and so hopefully, he'll have a grasp by the end of the week that if we need him, he'll be available.
Talked Sunday about being able to marry some coverages with the consistent pressure now, like Kevin did, I guess. Is there danger to the one time you don't get the pressure, getting beat over the top? How do you measure that out?
Yeah, I mean, there's danger. There's danger all around, it's just being able to be calculated. I think understanding what's going on. That play happened to be a quick game. Quarterback pretty much had declared. But, I think just some of those plays down the field, I guess, is what I was, referencing, that, we just can't. We all have to be smart, do our jobs, and then understand when you have the ability to go make a play, go make one.
Do you think those chances are?
Coach Mike Vrabel meeting with the media earlier today at St. Thomas Sports Park. Titans getting their work week started ahead of Sunday's game at home against New Orleans Saints, 12 noon kickoff at Nissan Stadium. We'll take another break, and we come back. We'll hear from QB1, Ryan Tannehill. Still adjusting to life without Derrick Henry is the Titans offense. We'll get a feel of how things went last week against the Rams and how they shape up this week against the Saints. Stay with us. You're watching SportsLine on News Channel 5+.